That's him on his birthday.
Almost since the day he was born,
That is probably at about 7, 8 months, I would say.
Mandy Ingham's dreams for her son
We have had football with North Village Community Center.
seemed bigger than the reality he was growing into,
There's the Telford Mile, and we thought we were the big time.
especially with sports.
We've had tennis, we have had martial arts.
Through 20 years of mothering, loving her son Mustafa, Mandy has been proud many times. She's got the pictures to prove it. But nothing comes close to what she feels these days when she looks at this.
It's such an overwhelming thought. To be at this point, it's right around the corner. Been a lot of time and energy concentrated just in this time. It's very hard to even put, as you can say, to put into words how I feel. I'm sorry.
So how did you get here?
Just determination.
It's an unlikely journey for 20-year-old Mustafa Ingham. In 2015, he tried out for TeamBDA, Bermuda's first ever Red Bull Youth America's Cup team. Initially, not inspired by patriotism or personal passion, it was his grandmother. She literally pried Mustafa off her couch.
Well, he was sitting there, yes. What had happened, he had just finished a job. He had come out of school. The job only lasted for a month. And he needed something else to do. I said, this is it. You do this.
Over the past 18 months, Mustafa has pushed himself to the limit to earn a spot on TeamBDA. Brutal beach workouts, tuned in at team meetings, added 28 pounds of muscle in the gym, total focus on the water.
The dream, I'm pretty sure it's quite obvious, is to be an America's Cup sailor one day, hopefully.
Oh yeah. It's been a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of emotion, put into raising a strong black Bermudian male in Bermuda, in this world, really in this universe. I expect nothing but excellence from him. It's been a slow simmer, but I feel like now is his time.
Come on, man.
Mustafa could be the first black sailor ever in the Youth America's Cup. And to hear him tell it, he also wants to be the first black sailor to ascend from the Youth America's Cup to the America's Cup. He's not alone. 23-year-old Shomari Warner decided to quit his job as an airport baggage handler to be a sailor. Before TeamBDA, Shomari and Mustafa were strangers on divergent paths. Now, each is the other's biggest supporter, pursuing the same goal. Both have a real shot to make something amazing happen.
I think we're bringing something different and hopefully making history.
Shomari is nothing if not his father's son.
But then I said to the pastor, look, you mind if, we no extra charge, but do you mind if we do this?
Simon Warner owns a business in the construction industry, does beautiful stuff. Every day he stares hard work in the face, and that makes it easy for him to hear opportunity when it knocks.
I'm saying to him, take your opportunities wherever you can, because at some point, they may not come back around.
He's one of my biggest supporters. I don't think I've ever told him this, but he's like he's my idol. Like, he's my example of what I want to be like.
Good man, come on.
I think he's just very proud, that he can say that his son has had the opportunity to be, or come close to being the America's Cup. I think that is something that not every father gets to say. So I think for him, this is a milestone in his life.
1-2.
If not for his dad, Shomari never even makes it to the tryout. Back then, boxing was his main sport. Sailing didn't seem to have the same fit for him.
Coming into it, even in the tryouts, it was just predominantly, white or whatever else. There was only a few people that looked like me and a few people that I knew. It wasn't one of those things where I felt necessarily uncomfortable. I just knew that at some point in time, who I am and where I'm from is probably going to come into play. Not in a bad way, but in a sense that this isn't normal. Like, this is different. And I think that's one of the reasons why, going back to my dad, is why he wanted me to do this. He saw that this wasn't a sport that young black males usually get an opportunity to be in. And he saw that I had the ability, so he said, just see what happens. And here I am.
But I just let him know that, listen, first of all, as a young black male, and I told this to my children, that you have responsibilities. And if opportunities come that can enhance not just you, but what you are and who you are, and as being a young black male, to show that other young black males, listen, this is not out of the realm. You know, we could all do this.
Turns out the Warner boys don't do deep conversation.
I don't know, I don't know, we're not in the sappy.
Sailing rarely comes up.
Like, our mornings are usually like,
But when your dad is your idol, you're learning even when neither of you is saying a word.
All right, I like this. Are you ready? Well, you know, we did get him to open up a little bit. It did take some work.
Yeah.
He told us that you were his idol.
Well, that's an honor in saying that one of your children will come and say that, you know, my father is my idol. I love him for that.
Shomari and Mustafa are in contention with two other talented athletes to be Team BDA's bowman, or grinder, the team's muscle, its engine. Good athletes, yes, all four. Strong, absolutely.
Get the windward board out!
But sailors, no way. Not until Team BDA presented the opportunity.
Just to see how far they've come in the last half a year is nowhere near where I thought they would be at.
Dimitri Stevens is a sailor. You should see him out there. At just 22, he's got the international experience on his resume. But make no mistake, a black person at this level of sailing is rare. And on Team BDA, Dimitri makes 3. In the sport's global context, this is unheard of.
I know when I was the most active in international sailing, I could probably count on 1, maybe max of 2 hands, the amount of other black sailors that I came across. So yeah, it's not that many.
Did it matter?
No, not really.
Dimitri's competing to be either a helmsman or a wing trimmer on Team BDA. The sport's rapidly changing technology means someone with Dimitri's skills and body type needs a teammate who is a grinder, someone who can power the boat. And the people with the greatest talent in that area seem more likely to pour in from other sports. Whether you're a sailor or not, if you are an athlete who is focused, hardworking, and physically fit, there may be a spot for you on this team. When Team BDA sent out the call for Bermudians to sign up, they used the island's best-known athletes to appeal to aspiring athletes. 120 signed up. It's a clear sign athletic ability is equalizing access to the sport, and sailing's prominent voices call for more of this, not less.
It's something that I think our sport has really got to strive more for. I mean, clearly people get on board the boat via their ability, so it shouldn't matter, and it doesn't matter what race you are and so forth. But we do need to work harder in our sport of creating more opportunities to allow a more diverse representation of the population.
I think demographically we're going to see a lot more women and a lot more minorities, if you will, sailing these boats, because we've already seen, especially with Team BDA, that it doesn't matter, you know, your gender, your skin color. If you are a keen sailor and if you're fit enough and if you can work together with teammates well, you're absolutely a fantastic candidate to sail in the America's Cup.
You know, I can't say, because I don't know, what the actual end ultimate team will look like, but my guess is we're going to have black kids, white kids, girls, guys, and that's a phenomenal, this is groundbreaking for the America's Cup, for the Youth America's Cup, and for Bermuda. So I think it's very exciting on that basis.
There are 11 on the team, but you can only take 7 into the race, 6 on the boat and 1 reserve. So that means for at least 4 of these young sailors, the ultimate goal will be outside of their reach.
We talk about it.
Yeah.
Every other day?
Every other day.
Hey, look, mate, we're just going to give 100%, give our best. I don't expect to not see you on that boat, so.
I think our main goal is to make it hard for the coaches to pick between us. Like, we're both going to give our best, and we're going to help each other to be the best that we can be. And whichever one of us get it or, you know, don't, it is what it is. Like, I'm happy for him if he gets it, and he's happy for me if I get it.
It's a good, tight team environment.
Head coach Richard Clark faces the difficult decision on who's in and who's out. He says he'll make the call based on merit, just like every other decision he's made up to this point.
We will most likely in the event be the most racially, sexually diverse team in the event. It's interesting that you ask me if I have, if that makes my job more difficult, because that would mean that I made a conscious decision to have a mixed race, mixed gender team, which I never did. We wanted the quickest learners. We wanted obviously some strength where strength and skill where we need skill. But in the beginning, it really was nothing about sailing skills.
Traveler remain, traveler remain, traveler remain.
Particularly when you're looking at the athlete side, it's just who learns fast, and plus attitude and all those other things. We never once looked at the color of anybody's skin. We never once looked at whether they were a boy or a girl, right? It was merit. How do you qualify for this team on merit?
The Endeavor program captures the imaginations of middle schoolers, and TeamBDA provides opportunities so profound for young adults, few could predict the impact. The America's Cup did this. But what about when it's over and the excitement is gone? Bermudian lives changed for the better will be the lasting legacy, and Bermuda has a diverse cast of young torchbearers to prove it, ready to lead the way toward whatever comes next.